As I begin my 1-point perspective letters, you're going to notice that I am using the right angle triangle to create nice, straight lines that are always going to be at a 90-degree angle. In this case, I drew in my horizon line and I drew in my one vanishing point. I'm going to quickly draw in my letters O and E. You're also going to notice that I don't always get it perfect each time, the first time I get it. I'm going to erase and make some mistakes, and I'm going to have to fix some things. That's no big deal. It's going to happen in drawing. That's why we always draw lightly as we begin. So I am going to fast forward through this section so that you can see me getting in the base of my O and my E. Because the letter E is most similar to the boxes we have already done, I'm going to start by drawing in my orthogonal lines that connect my letter E to the vanishing point for this letter. I'm going to go from the corners or the edges of the E all the way over to the vanishing point. I am also going to get the inside part of the E that people tend to forget about. So I'm going to draw from that little bump on the inside E. I'm going to connect that over, and this time I just kind of stop when I get to the actual letter E rather than going all the way back to the vanishing point, because I know that that line will eventually get erased anyway and I will not need it. From here, I'm going to use my right angle to create the outside edge of my E. I'm going to line up my right angle at the top of my box, and then I'm going to slide my ruler over, or my triangle over, to wherever I want the thickness of the E to be. This line will be exactly parallel to the other edge of the E. From here, just like in my boxes, I'm going to do the lining up on one edge, and I'm going to take that line that I just put in, and I'm going to connect where it intersects at the orthogonal. I'm going to end up bringing it over. I'm also going to check the bottom edge of the E and see if that should have stopped sooner. In this case, it does. Had I made my E much deeper or closer to the vanishing point, I might not have needed that extra line to be erased. Then I'm going to erase any of the other markings that I no longer need, and my letter E is finished. Creating the orthogonal lines for the letter O is a little bit harder. I can't go to the very top point of the O because it actually is going to get hidden behind the other part of the O. So I'm going to move to the outside edge that I can see, and I'm going to connect it to the vanishing point. Again, on the bottom of the O, I can actually touch the whitest part, so it's a little bit easier. I'm not going just from the intersected of the middle of the O, I'm going from the furthest out point that I can get to. From here, I'm going to try drawing the inside curve, and I'm going to try to make it exactly mimic the O that you see. As I did this, you're going to notice that I actually do it twice. The first time that I did it, I don't like the placement of it. I made it too close to the vanishing point. So I erased and I redrew it a little bit closer to the original O so that I see part of that inside, just like I do on the actual example at the top of my paper. Again, I am trying to make this O nice round. I'm just trying to make it the same shape as the O that was there the first time I drew it. It is not going to be the same size. It should be a slightly smaller O, but I'm trying to make each of these lines parallel to the original one that I drew, and you're going to see me go back, erase, and make changes and corrections, even though they might be minor, just to make it look a little bit more like that. Last step is knowing which lines to erase. I'm going to erase on the inside of the O, the outside edge, that smaller circle. I keep the one that is the smallest or closest to that inside area, and I'm going to erase the outside edge because I wouldn't see it. It's like I'm looking into a tunnel, so to speak. I don't see the outside edge, I only see the inside edge. Then on the outside part of the O, I'm going to keep the outside edge and not the inside edge. So on the inside of the O, I keep the inside circle. On the outside of the O, I keep the outside circle. I erase the places where they intersect and any extra lines that are no longer necessary, and it'll look like this O has almost become a little tunnel going back in perspective.